What is up, my friends? It is 2021, and today we're going to talk about what I think is the best turnkey video setup that I was able to make, at least. Let's get into it. So like a lot of you, I'm guessing, I make YouTube videos, obviously. I'll go through weeks where I have really good ideas and I execute on the ideas and it works out great, but then I'll go through months where I don't upload anything and I want to change that. So part of the reason is that I'll have a busy schedule or a lack of motivation or whatever excuse I make up. But another part is that I'm a perfectionist when it comes to the way that my shots look and sound, which is the stupidest thing you can ever waste your time on. I mean, how many of you guys so far have been watching this video like, whoa, this guy's setup looks so nice, or look how pretty it is and how good does it sound? Like, maybe you did, but realistically that probably wasn't what you clicked on the video for. But despite this, I have hours and hours of test shots where I've set up the light in a certain way and changed lenses and moved myself around and moved the stuff on my desk. All the while, it doesn't really matter, like it's the content that counts. So the goal for this video is to try to make a setup that's a turnkey, ready to go, you know, a couple button clicks, maybe some knob tightening setup. That's what I wanna have, and I think I made it. So without further ado, let's get into all the gear. That's why you clicked on the video. Let's talk about what we have going on and why I've chosen what I have. There we go. So I started off with a tip from DSLR Video Shooter, which is to use a monitor pole, like one that holds a computer monitor, and then a secondary arm off of that monitor to basically power the whole setup. And that's what I've done. So I already have one of these, but I had it on the other side of my desk. So I flipped the pole onto this side, and then I used the second arm that used to hold my laptop tray as the sort of unit to hold all my camera accessories and stuff. Once I had the plate off of the monitor arm, I screwed on the Z arm thing I have to hold my camera. I just literally threaded it onto the screw that was already on the arm. It fit pretty well. You don't need to use one of these. You could use a tripod head if you wanted to, or anything really, but as long as you have a way to mount your camera onto the arm, you're golden. Oh, I should mention too, before I get super deep into this, I'm gonna link all the stuff I have in this video that I'm talking about in the description. So if there's any particular part that you're wanting to buy, you can click on it and yada yada. Cool. So camera wise, I shoot on a Sony a7 III. It's the camera you're seeing right now, along with a 16 to 35 millimeter wide angle lens. So if we take a look, this is 16, so I'm probably shooting at like maybe 17, 18 mil. And I use a really wide angle lens to make a small space look bigger. I'm also shooting into a corner of the room to give me the most separation I can from the background. This room really isn't very big, so I use a wide angle to make everything look bigger. Now, one issue with the a7 III is that the screen on the back doesn't flip out. Like, I can't see myself on the camera screen. If you have a camera that has a flip out screen, then you're great. You don't have to worry about this next step, but I don't, and this is how I went around it. I have a 5-inch monitor right here. It's from a company called Newer, and it's been really good so far. It was pretty cheap. I just plugged in the HDMI cable into my camera, and now as I record here, I can see myself here. One thing to be mindful of is you don't want to be the person who looks at yourself while you're talking. It's super distracting, at least I think so. So looking at the lens is the goal, but I have the monitor here to check what's going on. To attach the monitor to the arm, I just have a little clamp underneath of there, and then a small rig ball head friction arm thing to articulate it to make it sit the way I want it to. This clamp was actually kind of expensive, and I wouldn't recommend getting this one because it was expensive, but it works. I already had it, so might as well use it. The next part that's super important is audio. So I have the Rode Video Micro microphone. It's super cheap. It's the one I recommend to literally everyone who wants to get a small microphone, and I have it sitting right here. I don't have it above the camera. Something that you might not know, or maybe you do, is that the closer the microphone can be to the person who's talking, the better it sounds. So I've got the microphone like this far away. It's just below the screen here. Well, we'll just point to it. Look, it's right here. And I have it, of course, mounted onto the arm that this whole setup is based around. To attach it there, I have a clamp with another friction arm that is just a matter of loosening or tightening a couple screws, and you get it exactly where you want to get it. So as a test, we'll do a quick comparison here. This is where the microphone is right now. It's about 16 inches or so from my face. I'm gonna put it on top of the camera, and then we're gonna see how it sounds up there. So this is the mic on top of the camera. It's now probably 3-ish feet away from my face. So you can tell how much different it sounds, especially if you have headphones on when you're watching this video, you'll really notice it. But I know that for me, audio quality is really important. So the closer I can get it, the better. All right, we're back. So the next thing, and arguably the most important thing, is lighting. I've got up here a Godox SL60. It's a pretty beefy light that is attached to a softbox, and everything is powered through this remote. So I can just turn it off, turn it on, change the brightness, all the stuff. So we'll do a little test here again to compare what good lighting looks like compared to something that's not so good. So here we go. So this is the setup with terrible lighting. This is from my office. It's just the way that the light looks with nothing special going on. And you can tell even with an expensive camera and an expensive lens, it doesn't look very good. And we are back. So this light's actually kind of big for the setup that I have here, especially because the softbox is like this big. The one I used to use is right behind me over here. It's a newer LED panel with a smaller softbox, and it's probably a lot better suited to this kind of setup, but this light is new to me. It was a gift and I'm really enjoying it, so I want to use this one for the time being. Okay, this last part is the part that I am the most excited about, and it's right here. Do you see it? Of course you don't. It is an overhead camera setup. So the plan for the next few videos at least is to do more tech-centered stuff, and with tech you're usually kind of like holding it and showing it. So here's my AirPods, for example. I could of course do one of these and show you things, but I also wanted to include an overhead setup up here so that way you could get a second angle. The reason I'm so proud of it is that it's actually a pretty unique way of going about things. It's not a second camera. It's actually just my phone attached to a phone holder, attached to a ball head, attached to an extension arm that's attached to a clamp, that is all attached again to the pole that's holding up my entire computer monitor. This thing is kind of a janky way to go, but it's pretty sturdy, and the best part is that it's really easy to take down, set up, or even hide behind the monitor if you just unscrew it and fold it in half. I'm very excited about this. I think for an overhead setup, a phone totally does a good job. You know, you can hold stuff, looks reasonable. You can, yeah, just get a second angle. So an important disclaimer that I want to mention here is that you definitely don't need all of this gear. I've accumulated this stuff over the last few years, so of course I'm going to use it, but when it comes to getting started, or maybe you don't want to invest a lot of money, a little light like this, a camera like this, and a microphone, I think, is exactly what you need to get things going. And to prove it, I'm going to switch it up right now, use this light to be this one, use my phone to be the camera, and we'll close off the video with this budget setup. Okay, so here is the phone setup. Before we go any further, if you're enjoying this video, do not forget to hit the like button and consider subscribing if you want to see more of these videos. So here we go. Aperture M9, like a $60-ish light up top with a $20 softbox to make the light more even. Same microphone as before, but this time I had to plug it into one of these guys, the external recorder, only because I don't have the right plug to attach this to my phone. Then of course I got my iPhone sitting on this like janky Z-arm thing to get the whole thing in frame. So yeah, if you don't want to get the stuff I talked about before, you definitely don't have to. I mean, I think this looks pretty good, but if you are looking to upgrade to a more similar setup to what I have, everything is linked in the description down below. They are all Amazon affiliate links, so if you're looking to buy anything, I get a small commission if you buy through the links that are down there. I'm probably gonna use the money to just dump back into the channel anyway, so yeah, if you want to buy some stuff, hit it. So that is it for this video. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments, letting me know what you think about the setup. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe if you want to see more, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.